What's good, everybody? It's Jeff Lightsy Jr. here. We're going to be talking about Jackson State. Coach Prime DeionSanders is on his way to making history. He's made a little bit of history already, but on the way to making some more history. We'll talk about it right after the bumper. Stay tuned. What's good people? Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload every single day. Now, Jackson State, Coach Prime and the Jackson State Tigers have gotten one step closer to making some more history on the season as they wrapped up their regular season as the SWAC East champions, posting a undefeated regular season in the SWAC conference this year, in finishing the regular season 10-1 after a 24-10 victory over Alcorn State. Jackson State, I want to say, went 8-0, 9-0 in the SWAC this season. Jackson State just had a historic year. Jackson State looks like the team that we all knew they would look like once DeionSanders got this thing rolling. See, here's the thing about DeionSanders, aka Coach Prime. Coach Prime came to Jackson State. He was hired, I want to say, he was hired in November or December. He and his staff didn't officially get to Jackson, Mississippi until really January. And they had to play a spring season by March. So they had commits and recruits and guys on campus, but a lot of those guys weren't eligible to play in the spring because they played in the fall for their schools, or they were still high school players who maybe enrolled early or wasn't going to get there until the summer. So he gets his guys in during the summer, and the first couple weeks are a little rocky. They make a switch at offensive coordinator, and things have been flying high essentially ever since. And Jackson State looks like the team we knew DeionSanders was building down in Jackson, Mississippi in the HBCU land, and they have just wrapped up a 10-1 regular season, the fourth 10-win season in the history of the program, and the best overall record with the potential chance to win 2 more games in the history of the program. That is the standard that DeionSanders has created. That is what we expected when we saw Coach Prime sign on to be the head coach of the Jackson State Tigers. He has not disappointed in any way. And listen to this. He missed multiple games, 2 or 3 games, due to a foot surgery gone bad. Right? The complications from recovery of a foot surgery because of all the years he played in the NFL. Now, DeionSanders' feet are notoriously known for being really, really bad because, he played, over 10, 15 years as one of the top corners in the NFL. So his feet are a little rough, and he finally had surgery, and it cost him to miss some games, and it cost him his ability to walk for a long time. He still isn't 100% healthy. You still see him roaming around the sidelines in a wheelchair. Now, Coach Prime isn't that old, and to be walking around in a wheelchair hurts his soul, but somehow, some way, he was able to still breathe life into his team and to watch his team led by his son, quarterback 1, QB1, Shedeur Sanders, leading them all the way to the SWAC championship game where they will play a very good Prairie View team in the championship, the champions of the SWAC Western Conference. Now, here's the thing. Coach Prime is honestly, potentially, 2 wins away from making some history. In his first fall season, we're going to give his first fall season, his first season as the head coach of the Jackson State Tigers. Now, technically, they'll say it's his second season because he played a spring season where they only played like 6 or 8 games. We ain't counting that. His guys weren't there. He really wasn't there. We ain't counting. We 2 months to prepare for a whole damn season. I don't like that. But regardless, he will lead Jackson State to potentially a SWAC title, something they haven't won in over a decade, and potentially a Celebration Bowl title in a win if they're able to beat South Carolina State. I don't know if Jackson State's ever done anything like this. And to think that he is able to do this in his first year as the real head coach of Jackson State, with this quarterback being a first-year college player, true freshman, and led by his true freshman quarterback and a ton of guys who just got to Jackson. Their best receiver, or most consistent receiver, Keith Corbin, is a transfer from Houston. Their probably the most talented receiver, or the top two most talented receivers, Malachi Wideman, a transfer from the University of Tennessee, and Trevante Rucker, a true freshman. Shane Hooks is a transfer from Ohio. Their best defensive player is James Houston, a transfer from the University of Florida. Keontae Hampton has been a long stay, and he has been a diaper dandy, as Dick Vitale would say, a beast over there, to go with Aubrey Miller, the transfer from Missouri, and Shiloh Sanders, a transfer from South Carolina, also Coach Prime's older son, leading the back end and the secondary. This team is special. This team has potential to be even more special. And what's even scarier, guys, I'm going to show you something. What's even scarier is that as good as this team is, and as good as this team has been during this season, with all those transfers and all those guys who have come in via the transfer portal or during Coach Prime's real full recruiting class, they have a potential to be even better next year. Because here's the thing. Their quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, will have a year under his belt of playing college football, have taken a lot of ups, but has had some downs and has looked like a freshman at times. He'll have another year with his offensive staff. He'll have another year with his receiving corps, besides the guys who will be able to move on, whether that's via graduation or to play pro ball. He'll have another year as his dad being the head coach. And he will have another big-time recruiting class. I'm going to show you this from this weekend. So for those of you who don't know, Jackson State played Alcorn in their senior night in front of 60,000 fans. 60,000, guys. 60,000 people showed up to see this game. That's more than a whole lot of FBS programs. I'm going to just put that out there. 60,000 fans, and including this kid. I don't want to put a whole bunch of pressure on this kid, but this kid his name is Travis Hunter. He is a senior in high school. He's the #1 rated player in the country for football. And guess where he decided to spend his weekend this past weekend? In Jackson, Mississippi, watching the Jackson State Tigers beat up on Alcorn and head into the SWAC championship game with an undefeated record. It says class of 22 ESPN 300 5-star. That's, count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star Travis Hunter, who returned to the field last night following an ankle injury where he's missed most of the season, was in Jackson, Mississippi for a big visit for JSU, the FA. Now, he's a Florida State commit. He is a Florida State commit, and Florida State is where DeionSanders played college football and became a college football Hall of Famer, then went on to be an NFL Hall of Famer. So there's the ties to Coach Prime. And he saw them in front of a sellout JSU crowd, coached by another FSU great, DeionSanders. So I'm not saying that Travis Hunter is going to Jackson State, but this is the tweet that I put out. I said, if Coach DeionSanders and Jackson State pulls this off, it would be amazing. And not only would it be amazing, it would be groundbreaking. It would be earth-shattering. It would be huge. Just like I believe this class of 22 recruiting class for Jackson State is going to be huge. The fact that the #1 player in the country who could have visited any campus in the country, decided to be at Jackson State and saw a crowd of 60,000 people. 60,000. And watch JSU and Coach Prime handle their business out there on the field lets me know that this class is going to be special, and Jackson State moving forward is going to continue to be special. So shout out to Coach Prime. Shout out to Jackson State. I love, love, love what they're doing down there. Hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe. My name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will have updates on Jackson State, and we upload every single day about sports, life, politics, and everything in between. Hit the thumbs up button. You can follow me on Instagram at JLightsy7. That is at JLightsy7, or on Facebook, Jeff Lightsy Sports. On Facebook, Jeff Lightsy Sports. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you next time. Peace.